All right, so former Georgia Star defensive tackle Jalen Carter has been in the news for some not so good reasons recently. He was projected to be a top 10 overall pick in this coming draft, and that may still happen, but we'll break down, kind of what we think is going to happen. So we're not the news. We've stated this in the past when we covered the Damar Hamlin thing, when we've covered the Mike Clevenger thing. We're not the news, but here's some quick facts, and then we're going to get to the commentary because that's what we're here for. So Jalen Carter was believed to be in a race. He was in a race with Georgia recruiting staff member, 24-year-old Chandler LaCroix, who was a female employee, and Devin Wilcock, who was an offensive tackle on the Georgia Bulldogs team. They were believed to be going over 100 miles an hour, which is not good. And I think Chandler LaCroix was the only one who had some alcohol consumption in her body that was proven. I don't think Jalen Carter was proven that he was drinking. So we don't know that for sure. The time the accident happened around 2:50 in the morning in Athens, Georgia, Jake's hometown. And he was charged with reckless driving, even though that's probably unlikely to stick because of his NFL status, which is kind of unfortunate, but that's the way it is. That's the quick facts. Let's get to some commentary. Jake, is this a huge deal?
Yeah, first of all, I'm going to say it happened right where I used to live. I'm not going to name the exact address, the exact road or anything, but it happened where I used to live. Um, and if I had still lived there, I could have heard it from my house. And I'm gonna say this is not gonna tank Jalen Carter's draft position. Still very good defensive tackle. Still should get drafted very high. You know, what he did was obviously wrong, but you just gotta look on the field. He's still a very good football player, and it's not gonna tank his draft stock at all. Evan, what do you think?
No, it wouldn't. But my position on this would be if I was the NFL, right, I would have a rule because Jalen Carter is a repeat offender. He's had 3 traffic violations on the University of Georgia around the campus. Three. So that means he's a repeat offender. He doesn't learn his lesson. And the NFL is telling you it's okay. You don't have to learn your lesson. We're still going to, yeah, you may move from 5 to 15. You're still getting the rookie contract. You're still getting the guarantee. So essentially, they're saying it doesn't matter. We don't care if you don't learn your lesson. I think that not that they care about the example it's setting, but they do care about their PR, and they're messing that up for their
Right.
PR because how do all these? It's not that these are bad kids, but how do these kids? Oh my God, what happened with NFL players? They just get the money and run? No, there's no reinforcement. In college, they face punishment. I'm sure Kirby Smart was all over him when he got those traffic violations. But in the NFL, that's gone. That's all gone. They're just okay, in a sense, they are handed the bag of money, but there's no reinforcement. It's not just the celebrity thing. There's no reinforcement. There's no punishment. He's gonna be a first round pick, like Jake just said. That I 100% agree with that. It's not like the NFL pretty much is like, oh well, oh wow, Calvin Ridley, you better not bet on a game, otherwise you're suspended for the year. But yeah, I mean, just I don't know. It sets a horrible example, but you know what? The NFL, they've never been able to figure it out. So I agree with Jake. I think he will still be a teens pick. I definitely could see my Titans drafting him at number 11 if they stay there. There's a huge need for offensive tackles. It's him or that Ohio State guy. I think, I don't know. I think it sets a terrible example. Can you remember? My question to you then, Jake, is can you remember a similar situation to this? That got me thinking on a little less serious of a note. That got me thinking because I remember when you remember Laramie Tunsil with the mask, the bong mask. He was supposed to be number 1 overall, and then
Yeah.
he slipped far over that.
Yeah. Um, so, this is obviously a very sad situation, but I do remember one incident in in I do remember one incident, the Henry Ruggs incident,
Yes.
but I think that was obviously way
Yes,
worse. Henry Ruggs was
that was
traveling at yes.
yeah, that was post draft. I agree with that though. The post draft has changed a little bit because you got guys like Isaiah Wilson too. Remember when he came up to the Titans
Yeah.
and after that was post-draft. He still got his first round pick and all that, but the Titans were like, we're tired of your antics. Henry Ruggs doing the crazy stunt he did last year.
Yeah.
He's done, So one post-draft teams are handling it a little better, but the NFL as a whole is still saying you can be all of this. We're still going to give you a first round draft pick. You're still going to get that guaranteed money, and you're not going to face, because again, mistakes happen. I don't want like, listen, I'm not trying to be Mr. Perfect here. I used to race to an extent in high school, never 100 miles an hour, but I used to race to an extent in high school. Number one, I've grown up a little bit, but number two, I learned my lesson. When I got a speeding ticket for the first time in 2021, I learned my lesson. If you're a repeat offender, you're not learning their lesson, and the NFL's got to fix that.